And I'm joined on the phone by one of his co-trainers, Kirsten Barclay. And Kirsten, it must be so exciting for you to have a horse on a New Zealand Cup campaign.
Oh, look, it's just a dream come true, you know. You get up in the morning and you go to work and it's everything that you always strive for, is to have a horse of that quality, and that's the races that we want to get to. And, you know, finally we've got a chance to step up and have a go at the big stage.
And how did he come through that fresh up run 9 days ago off the 50-metre handicap?
He came through extremely well. Both Tank and I were wrecked with him. After the race, he recovered extremely well. Tank rang me the next morning and said, look, him and his paddock companion, Wee May Trouble, were bouncing around the paddock like idiots. So they actually ended up getting a little bit more work because they were actually that well after the race. So, no, more than happy with where he was at.
On Sunday, his career goes to another level when he takes on established open class horses in the Hannon Memorial at Oamaru. Is he ready for the big time?
He's still learning. He's ready to be competitive, but he's still got to put it all together. The standing start's going to be vital over 2-6. He can't afford to give those horses any ground. So, he's definitely ready to have a crack, but he's also got to turn up and put the manners in place and do it correctly to be competitive. You can't give those ones any sort of head start. So I'm pretty excited about lining up on Sunday and seeing how we do compete with them. So, yeah, just really fingers crossed that we can really get a clean start and be there to give it a crack.
You mentioned the standing start. He hasn't had a lot of starts from the stand. Is that any concern at all?
No, not really. He's had two starts from the stand down here, and he's been off a back marker all the time on his own. So, he's stepped away nice and quietly and relaxed each time. Too relaxed, really. He sort of froze the other day. But just his manners, he's so sensible. I think when he's lined up in between horses, I'm hoping, and I do think he'll come out quite well with them. So, yeah, once again, I'm just sort of looking forward to getting out and giving him a chance in between them and seeing how we can get away.
Do you think that's key to him beating the likes of Spankham and the other all-star pacers on Sunday?
Oh, look, I wouldn't say he could beat them just yet, but to give it a good crack. He's got the speed and everything, but it is going to be key. If he can't step away as quick or better than them, it's going to make it very difficult. But just like the speed he's shown and everything, he's certainly there to be competitive. It's just all going to come down to the start, I think.
Kirsten, safely through this week, what do you see as his pathway to the New Zealand Cup?
Well, Tank and I were talking just this week, and we're sort of eyeing up either the Canterbury Classic or the Ashburton Flying Stakes. He takes very little work, and we normally try and space it out as much as possible. So I think both of those are about 2 weeks apart, and then that gave us 2 weeks leading into the Cup. So, yeah, probably it may be both, or maybe one of those would be where we would head.
After the Cup Carnival is done, we have an Inter-Dominion coming up at Alexandra Park. Is there any chance we'll see the pride of Southland up these ways?
We haven't sort of discussed that too much yet. He's just, because he's not a big rowdy horse. He sort of needs to be spaced out. We're just sort of not too sure if that sort of setup would really suit him. I mean, obviously he'd love to be there, and he's got the ability to be there, but just the heats and the final in short succession might not suit him. We just get through November and then start making some more plans after that.
Away from your stable star, things are starting to warm up for the Southern Harness season. Do you and Tank Ellis have one from your stable for us to look out for?
We've actually got some really nice horses coming through. One that raced really well at the end of last season, a horse called Paddy Proudfoot. I think he could be a really tidy wee horse around the Country Cup scene this year. And a trotter, Wee May Trouble, he's just got so much speed, and his manners have always been a bit of an issue. So if he can continue improving like he did last week, I think he could really do quite a nice job over this season and the next seasons to come.
Well, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you and You May Cullect on Sunday at Oamaru.
Great, thanks very much.